Just what are the Prop 8 proponents trying to hide, and why are they afraid to let the public see their witnesses being cross-examined? We may find out after a hearing on Monday. John Boehner's defense of DOMA is full of junk science, a semi-reprieve for LGBTs fearing deportation, and we've still got lots of work to do in Maine. I'm Matt Baum, and welcome to Marriage News Watch for August 29th, 2011.
Marriage News Watch is made possible by Marriage Equality USA. If you're getting married, you can make Marriage Equality USA your donation gift beneficiary at marriageequality.org/gifting. By Carbonated, a creative agency. And by viewers like you.
By the time you watch this, a judge in San Francisco has probably already heard arguments over releasing the tapes of the Prop 8 trial. The proponents of Prop 8 have been fighting tooth and nail to keep that footage out of public view. So, what are they trying to hide? They claim that their witnesses are afraid of intimidation or of losing their privacy. But that doesn't make any sense. Both of their witnesses, Kenneth Miller and David Blankenhorn, have spent years pursuing publicity and public personas. They've never shied away from the spotlight until now, under oath and penalty of perjury, and suddenly they don't want the public to see what they're saying. What the proponents are really trying to hide is all of the admissions that their witnesses made under cross-examination. Both Miller and Blankenhorn lack knowledge and credibility on the very topics they were called to testify about. Miller said that he couldn't remember how much of his testimony had been fed to him by his attorneys, and the court ruled that his testimony was, quote, entitled to little weight. And when Blankenhorn was questioned, he actually had to agree with the case against Prop 8, with quotes like, quote, gay marriage would be a victory for the worthy ideas of tolerance and inclusion, unquote, and, quote, we would be emphasize more American on the day that we permitted same-sex marriage than we were on the day before, unquote. So it's no wonder the Proposition 8 proponents want to keep that footage under wraps. In national news this week, John Boehner's crusade to save the Defense of Marriage Act was dealt a setback by one of the very researchers on whose work he's based his case. Boehner's filings cite the work of Dr. Lisa Diamond, who this week filed a declaration of her own, calling Boehner's statements incorrect. But Boehner's problems don't stop there. He also cites research by anti-gay activist George Dent, whose papers depend on work by discredited researchers Walter Schrum, Thomas Schmidt, Paul Cameron, and George Riekers, whom you'll recall from last year's Lift My Luggage Rent Boy scandal. And as if that wasn't enough, Dent also cites work by a phony front group called the American College of Pediatricians. Despite the name, the ACP isn't a legitimate professional medical organization. It's a tiny group set up solely to spread misinformation about LGBTs. In other news, the Obama administration announced this week that they would review 300,000 immigration cases, which is likely to lead to a deprioritization of cases involving the law-abiding spouses of American citizens. Although this isn't a long-term solution, the move is expected to provide some relief to foreign-born LGBTs who are legally married to Americans. And finally this week, Maine is on its way to repealing that state's marriage ban with 5,000 signatures collected over the first weekend of signature gathering. That's still just a tenth of the minimum required, and only about 6% of the 80,000 they're targeting to have by January. You can help out in Maine no matter where you are in the world. Go to whymarriagemattersmaine.com to find out how you can make a difference. And that's it for this week's headlines. Visit AFER.org for the latest on the efforts to release those trial tapes, and visit marriagenewswatch.com for more on all these stories and more. Remember to connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, and sign up for our daily news alerts to be the first to know when news breaks. We'll see you next week.
Marriage News Watch is made possible by Marriage Equality USA. If you're getting married, you can make Marriage Equality USA your donation gift beneficiary at marriageequality.org/gifting. By Carbonated, a creative agency. And by viewers like you.